Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope you're doing really well. It's time to check out some more of your guys' collections. You have sent me a ton of emails, and that's fine. Keep them coming. And I'll keep working through them eventually. We're gonna be taking a look at some more of your fragrance collections here today, and I'm gonna give you guys some of my thoughts on what you've got going on. So let's jump into this. Let's check out these collections. And today's video is sponsored by FragranceUSA.com. I've got a link in the description to their website. Make sure to check them out anytime you're looking for a discounted, authentic, niche, or designer fragrance. And they have some awesome prices on some amazing fragrances there. So make sure to check them out, FragranceUSA.com. Use code GENT15 for 15% off of your order, and I'll leave that in the description too, in case you've got the memory of a goldfish and you forget it before this video is over. Like I said, keep those emails coming. Keep sending me those fragrance collections. Keep them coming. Email address is in the description. It's gentscentsonline@gmail.com. And also, go ahead and send me your rarest fragrance. Let me know what it is. What is your most rare fragrance in your collection? Is it an old discontinued fragrance? Is it a hard to find niche fragrance? Is it an expensive fragrance? Whatever. And you know, even if it's not that rare, if you want to, go ahead and send it on. If it's the rarest one that you have and you want to potentially be showcased in one of these videos, send it on. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get it started. First up, we've got Darren C. I'm not gonna use everybody's last name, I guess, just to be more private. I don't know if you guys even care about that, but Darren C. So Darren here has got a lot of compliment pulling kind of fragrances. Seems like that's a big focus on what we've got going on here. Acqua di Gio Profumo, Sauvage, La Nuit de l'Homme, Invictus Legend, I think, Versace Aero, Split de Chanel. So you've got a lot of heavy hitters in this collection. One thing that I want to focus on though is the Paco. You see it right there? Right there in the middle to the left. Paco. That is almost like Paco Rabanne's most forgotten fragrance over the past, 26 years. That fragrance right there came out in the mid-90s. It's technically a unisex fragrance. There was a flanker to it called Paco Energy. And Paco Energy, also a unisex fragrance. Some people will compare that Paco right there to CK1 by Calvin Klein. So that fragrance is a fragrance from a different time where that unisex, very fresh, very clean kind of scent profile was really selling. And at the time, they also really hyped up that it came in an aluminum can and that it was recyclable. That was legitimately a big deal when that fragrance came out. So I like what you got going on here. You're covered in pretty much any situation. You've got a club fragrance. You've got Kouros, and Kouros is banging. That's your 80s powerhouse. Aventus Cologne. You've got Leighton. So you've got a couple of your nice kind of stepping stones into niche where you can get that more luxurious feel, but still have a really wearable fragrance. Next up, we've got Mark. Mark E, his last name. Mark. All right, he sent a bunch of pictures, so I'm gonna try to go through these really quickly. First up, kind of this overhead view. You can see, of course, Creed Aventus right there. You've got Gravitas from Mr. Smelly, kind of in the middle there. And a good amount of samples. That's actually a good thing. I think that having a lot of samples, being able to wear those and try out a fragrance, decide if you really like it or not before you buy it, is a good thing. It keeps you from wasting a whole bunch of money. Different picture, same fragrances. In the back, see a couple Club de Nuit fragrances, Milestone and Sillage. So in case you're unaware, the gold one there is called Milestone. That is a clone of Creed Millésime Imperial. The silver one next to it is called Sillage, Club de Nuit Sillage. And that is a clone of Silver Mountain Water, both by Creed. Now this is something I like right here. I like what I'm seeing. All these little fragrances here, these little samples. Those are imaginary authors, and that is one of my favorite independent fragrance houses out there. So I like this here. Out of those, my 3 favorites, Cape Heartache, which is on the far left, Memoirs of a Trespasser kind of in the middle, and then A City on Fire right next to it. Those are my favorites. We've got some more samples here, Creed samples, Parfums de Marly samples, samples of different designer fragrances, and Acqua di Parma as well, so a little bit of niche scattered throughout there. Just a whole bunch of samples. Like I said before, that's a good thing. Sampling is not bad. It's not something to be ashamed of. You know, having those little sample vials, that's good. And then we've got discovery sets of Galleria Parfums and Navitus Parfums. Appreciate the support. So there we go, Mark. I like what I'm seeing there. You've got a whole lot of really nice things there. You're sampling, that's smart. You're using your big brain power. Next up, we've got Bryce B, and he sent a movie. He sent a video file. Let me download it. All right, I'm gonna try to go through this pretty quickly. Let's see what we've got here. Okay. First thing, this guy knows what he's doing. Drakkar Noir. Anytime I see Drakkar Noir in a collection, automatic thumbs up from me. Yes, Drakkar Noir. Is it overplayed? Did too many people wear it in the 80s? Yeah, sure did. But guess what? It's still awesome. I don't care what anybody says. He does have it back in the dungeon here. Pretty dark back there, but I'm gonna let it slide because I think he's doing that just to keep it from going bad. You know, he's not trying to let that sunlight hit it, keeping it nice and hidden away and cool. So we'll let it slide. Got some Dua fragrances, Insurrection Pure 2, so some clone fragrances here, some inexpensive alternatives, some more expensive ones. And then we've got, looks like a smorgasbord here of designer fragrances that pretty much run the gamut. We've got fragrances here that are great for compliments, things like the Mont Blanc Explorer, the Bleu de Chanel, the CH Privé from Carolina Herrera, and then we've got some more gentlemanly kind of fragrances in here. Looks like Vetiver from Guerlain in the back there, Ancre Noir à l'Extrême. We've got Pacha de Cartier, Mustache, and Eau Sauvage. So there are a lot of fragrances here that are gentlemanly, kind of sophisticated, refined type fragrances, and then you also have some more compliment pulling, versatile, everyday wear kind of fragrances. So really, really nice mixture there, covered in pretty much any situation. If you want to wear something to the office, something formally, on a date, just casually, covered. Now this top shelf here, this looks to be the niche shelf. The top shelf fragrances on the top shelf. Imagine that. One thing that I noticed here is Purple Label from Ralph Lauren right there in the back. Now Purple Label does smell similar to Bleecker Street from Bond No. 9, which is a niche fragrance, and Purple Label is pretty much never discounted. You never ever see it at Fragrance Net or Fragrance X or Fragrance USA or Fragrance Buy or anything. So if you buy it, you're usually paying retail, unless you're buying it off somebody that's selling it just themselves. Companies never have it discounted. That was really long-winded. I don't even know what point I was making. Purple Label smells like Bleecker Street. Bleecker Street is niche. If you want to put Purple Label with niche fragrances, knock yourself out. Who cares? We've got a Louis Vuitton. Don't see those very often. Bunch of Creed fragrances, Parfums de Marly, Elysium, Nishane, and then Kieran NYC. And I see a Frederick Malle kind of thrown in the back right there. That's a really nice mixture of fragrances. A lot of those are going to be on the more wearable side. You do have some that are a little bit more challenging. I saw an Asamato in there as well. What was that? Was that Pardon? Really nice mix. Lots of good stuff here. Lots of fantastic fragrances. It's gonna get a thumbs up from me, dog. Up next, we got JW, and he apologizes for the lighting. Says the lighting in his condo is horrible and his pictures are horrible. No need to apologize, JW. Thank you for sending the email. Thank you for taking the time to take the pictures. Don't gotta apologize. All right, so here we go. First up, we got the Galleria Parfums Discovery set. So thank you for the support. In case anybody's unaware, those are fragrances I creatively directed, so thank you for that. We've also got 13th Floor Fragrance Company, Superstition number 13. How do you like that? Superstition. That fragrance is Steve Shippey's fragrance. He is a rapper also known by the name Prozac. That's his stage name. And that's a really good fragrance also. So it's good. It's good to see you got that. We got Sartorial, awesome fragrance from Penhaligon's Classic, gentlemanly, refined, fantastic. And then a couple Bulgari Aquas for good measure there. Got the Spice Bomb trio here, Spice Bomb Fresh, Night Vision, and the original Spice Bomb. Gotta get that Spice Bomb Extreme. Gots to do it whenever you can. And then a couple rocks just chilling next to the Spice Bomb. Okay, we've got Pulse of the Night, which is fantastic. We've got Guerlain Vetiver Extreme right next to it, also fantastic. We've got Jaipur from Boucheron. On the other side of Pulse of the Night, we've got some Prada in there. We got the Rojas glass bottle right behind that Prada, which some people say looks like a toy for grown-ups. We've got some Trussardis, some Bulgaris, a lot of good stuff here. And on the bottom shelf, we've got Zaro, I'm assuming Wanted by Night, and it looks like Boss, the Scent Private Accord, a bunch of Barbados, a bunch of Gentleman fragrances, and it looks like Dylan Blue back there, kind of in the dark. And what is that behind that? Voyage, I think. Looks like Nautica Voyage back there. Up in the corner, we've got 1821 Man-Made Sweet Tobacco Spirits. What a name, 1821 Man-Made Sweet. So that one was really hyped back maybe 4 years ago, I feel like. Around 4 years ago. And it is a solid fragrance. It's really nice. It's got this wine accord to it. So it's this sort of boozy fragrance with a bit of tobacco in there, hence the name. That company actually, I think 2.5 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, they emailed me and they said, hey, FYI, we're working on flankers to 1821 Man-Made Sweet Tobacco Spirits. We've got, I think they said 3 different flankers that they were working on that were gonna come out, and they never did. So just a little behind the scenes story of that fragrance. At one point there were flankers of that being floated around that company and they were gonna go forward with it, and at some point they just killed them, so bummer. Now here we've got some gentlemanly kind of fragrances, said that a few times now, haven't I? We've got Gravitas, both mustaches, the Eau de Toilette, criminally overlooked. The Eau de Parfum is the one that always gets hyped, but the Eau de Toilette of mustache is very good as well. Not the same kind of fragrance, but really solid. Got a Pacha de Cartier there, Mancera Oud Vanille, and then a good amount of shaving supplies. Now, with this stuff, I'm showing it because actually there's a big overlap between guys that are into shaving, wet shaving, and guys that are into fragrances. So shout out to all you guys out there that are all about that wet shaving life. And then the final picture here, just the top. Oh, no, it's not the top. Yeah, it is the top of that previous shelving unit. So we've got Dreamwoods, again, Galerie Parfum, shout out, thank you so much for the support. Lalique has some amazing fragrances. Just wanted to throw that out there right next to the Bogart. And then we have Michael Kors, Criminally Overlooked, and a whole bunch of Ferrari, and looks like Dolce & Gabbana, the one, and the one gray possibly right behind it, and then English Laundry, which those are actually good quality. You can find those at TJ Maxx, usually for like $15. Up next, we've got fragrance collection from Sam R. And actually I met Sam on a cruise back, when was this? 2019, I feel like, 2019. Picture of Sam and I. So he actually saw me and he was like, oh, you're the guy from YouTube, right? And I was like, yes, I am on YouTube. And he introduced himself. He's a really cool guy. And we met up and had a drink. And this is Sam's collection. Now check this out. This is a sick collection. Look at how this is presented here. I love this. Just the way that this is done with each little partition there, where you can put whatever you want in there, is so clean. It looks so nice. And there's so much here. I mean, take a look at all this, look at this. Zoom in and move around, just like, it's like hide and go seek or something. It's like you're just, you know, poking your head in here and there, trying to see what all is in the collection. It's fantastic. So this one, obviously, I don't need to tell you guys that it's awesome. You can just look at it and be like, yeah, it's good. I'll point out a couple things that are things that jump out to me, and that's just because of my semi-addiction to discontinued fragrances. Now, I'm not gonna point them all out, just gonna point out a few here. At the top, kind of right in the middle, to the left of the Azzaro Wanted bottles, Davidoff Good Life. That is very hard to find nowadays. Fantastic fragrance, great for casual wear in the spring and the summer also. Great, great, great scent. Kind of forgotten a little bit now, but very good. Then we've got Gucci Envy. Now, if you look 3 rows down, you've got Creed Aventus, Creed Green Irish Tweed, you got these Parfums de Marley's, these Bond No. 9s, and actually some of those Bond No. 9s as well are pretty difficult to find nowadays, but right next to those Bonds, Gucci Envy. Now that is one of my favorite fragrances of all time. And right below that, actually, Gucci Pour Homme 2. Fantastic tea fragrance. It's really, really, really good. And on that same, I guess you would call it row, I guess you would call it a row, as Gucci Pour Homme 2, just a few shelves to the left, Valentino V, which is now highly, highly, highly sought after. This is a collection that would make 99% of people, 99.9% of people very envious. It's just put together so well, it looks so good, you've got so much stuff there. And toward the bottom, you've got Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, and that is a vintage bottle. The sticker across the front, that is a fantastic fragrance, and this collection is just off the chain, man. All right, next up we've got Sam Y. So another Sam, but a different Sam. Let's take a look at this one. Okay, so we've got the blue fragrance trifecta to the right. You got Bleu de Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent Y, and Dior Sauvage. Those are the 3 heaviest hitters of the blue fragrance genre, if you want to call it that. Those are your extremely versatile, any situation compliment pulling fragrances. And they're all right there. You've got Coach, which is kind of like a more affordable blue fragrance. You know, that one is one that you could wear, I guess, if you don't want to use one of your more expensive ones. And then we have the Creeds, which are so good for introducing people into niche fragrances. Green Irish Tweed, first up. That's my favorite. It's really good. You've got Millesime Imperial after that, Silver Mountain Water, and then a clone of Silver Mountain Water. And you have Virgin Island Water and Aventus. Those 5 right there, those seem to be like the first ones that people really gravitate toward when they're starting to get into Creed fragrances. And then we've got Black Phantom and Baccarat Rouge 540 and Wajan, which are some more easy to wear niche fragrances, highly respected. Now, one thing I want to point out here, you've got all your fragrances right here. They're all together, they're nice, they're happy, everybody is friendly here. I noticed something. You zoom in, and then you look up into that mirror. There's a lonely, sad bottle of Polo Red all by itself. What did Polo Red do to you? That when you got the boys together for the photo, that you left Polo Red out, but then you put it where you can see it in the mirror, looking longingly at all the other fragrances hanging out. Man, what did Polo do to you? That's a sad, sad Polo Red bottle. The saddest I think I've ever seen. And I think he doesn't have a cap either. All right, guys, I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up there. This video has already run about 30 minutes long as far as my filming goes. Who knows how long it'll be after editing. But thanks again to all you guys for sending these in. Keep sending them. Keep sending those fragrance collections. Also, like I said, if you want, you can send your rarest fragrance. I'll be really interested to check those out. And you could also send your best pickup ever. You know what? You can do your best pickup ever, and it can be from anywhere. I did it before, and it was in store only, like something you purchased physically, but include internet purchases. Your best pickup ever. Let me know what it was, what you paid for it. Again, a shout out to Fragrance USA for sponsoring this video. There's a link in the description to their website. Make sure to check them out. Use the code GENT15. And that's gonna do it. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for all your support. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.